Hey everyone, welcome to the 1804 show, chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is another episode of 1804 History. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out to my homegirl, Terry Reed, and make sure y'all go support her business, Reed's Painting and Remodeling Services. And also, hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, the 1804 show, chapter 2. Now let's begin. So tonight I'm going to be talking about James Brown, Godfather of Soul, hardest working man in show business, Mr. Dynamite. That's what everyone called him. But tonight I just wanted to discuss this because this really hits home for me. Not the arrest, but what caused the arrest, what led up to it. And And I don't want to make any excuses for James Brown or whatever. He was a grown man. He knew what he was doing. But it's just you never know what a person's going through, what type of childhood emotional traumas that a person's going through. So that's why I try to be nice to everybody. That's why I try to just be compassionate. And yes, he was a abuser, drug addict, whatever you want to call him. But it just was a lot he went through as a kid. It's so much that they talk about this, but this was pretty much the arrest that got him his 6-year prison term, but he only did 3 years. But other than that, a lot of it, I ran across the interview about it, but a lot of it came from his parents abandoning him as a kid. And, I can imagine that hurt. I went through that same hurt with my pops. And just the fact that, she ended up coming back to him after he got famous and stuff, and he had forgave her. And that was pretty powerful. That was really something that takes a lot of strength to do. But it was one morning, one morning, December 15th, 1988. Um, he went to one of his businesses that he owned, and someone used his restroom without permission, which he didn't like. So he went up there with a shotgun and shot a hole in the roof. Then someone called the police. And it's really crazy. This whole scenario crazy because he actually rolled a blunt and stuff like that. And he was smoking on angel dust or whatever. And he did a high speed chase from Georgia all the way to South Carolina. And then he turned around and did the same thing from South Carolina to Georgia. And the police officers shot up his truck, his pickup truck. And just, it was crazy. Like, just imagine 23 bullet holes in his truck to try to stop him. Even with no tires, he still was able to like sped off. And when they stopped him, this dude got out and did a spin and a split. It's some funny shit, but this is what he did. And he was arrested on aggravated assault and carrying a shotgun and a pistol, being high off PCP and stuff. But it's crazy. He did 3 out of 6 years in prison for that. But my thing is, it's just, when you decide to look at people's psyche and you question yourself why they do the things that they do, and him being a kid from Augustus, Georgia, and stuff, and poor, living in a whorehouse and stuff, quite similar to Lil Scrappy and other rappers and Richard Pryor. This is what they knew. You know what I'm saying? Just because where they lived and where they came from, they didn't think women was human beings. They didn't think women had feelings. They would see a lot of women get beat. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy childhood traumas and things that kids shouldn't have been exposed to. Then your mama abandoned you, when you need her the most. And his dad was too poor to really take care of him. So I can imagine just being a young man and you just lost and you just trying to find love. So you look for love in the wrong places and you don't have that type of nurturing growing up. And it just comes a time where a lot of us who had our mothers who had like a 2-parent household really take advantage of thinking that it's not important for a kid to have their father or their mother, but it does. It may not affect you now, because everyone's different. It may affect them while they're young or it may affect them while they're old, but who's to judge? Who's to determine that? But just a lot of his antics and a lot of his criminal stuff really stems from his childhood. And just when I hear that song, Mama's Dead, it just really like make me think about a lot of things and just like it's really hard, guys, because me and my family pretty much ain't on good terms right now. And I love my mama to death, but she just doesn't see what I see and stuff. It's a lack of communication, a lack of improvement, and I love my mama to death, and I just want my mama to understand that I'm just trying to chase a dream, and she feels like I'm wasting my time, but I'm not, because it's real to me, so it's real, and I gotta follow my heart. I put too much work into this show, to this brand, to just be a regular person while working a regular job. That's not my dream. And I just refuse to give up and I refuse to settle. And I just want for everybody to understand that, let that hurt go. Whatever you feel or whatever you hold it in, let it go. Because drugs will not only not fix the problem, but it will ruin your life, your reputation, your good graces, and stuff like that. But James Brown was just, a lost soul. He had to grow up early and he made a lot of mistakes. A lot of it was bad decisions, but he made a lot of mistakes. But I was just like, have a whole new perspective on him, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I ain't making no excuses for him. But all I'm saying is that a lot of his behavior stems from childhood. And a lot of our, well, a lot of us and a lot of our parents and a lot of our grandparents, great grandparents endured a lot and just having to, you know, survive on a fixed income. And all they had was Jim Crow and having to survive in that time period. It wasn't easy. So that's why we have to be very careful and very cautious about the things we say about we not our grandparents or we not our ancestors and stuff like that. We got to be very careful with that because we ain't never experienced true racism. We was never called colored or Negro like they was. So, and it was just really hard because, you know, a lot of men were humiliated and devalued. And they would come home and take it out on their women, their wives, their daughters. And it just was sad, you know, it was just a horrible time period. But I just feel like he did the best he could, but he also became his dad. He also became his mom because he had a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? He had, I believe, 10 kids. And he wasn't there for all his kids, only like a select few. But like I said, he made mistakes. But I just wanted to talk about this because it was just really interesting because I didn't know about this story until I watched the movie. And the movie was a good biopic, one of the best biopics ever by the late great Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in peace. But yeah, we just have to be very careful about the choices we make. But yeah, guys, I'm out. Just wanted to touch y'all with a good story, a good, crazy, insane story. But yeah, it's over. And make sure that y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, the 1804 Show Chapter 2. And I'm out. Have a good day. Peace.